Hello, everybody.
Right, aloha, everybody.
We're here at Mauna Kea.
Yep. On the Mauna today.
Yeah.
Yep. We got our presents up here, and you know, next to all these kia'is and all these Mauna warriors, standing hand to hand, standing next to each other, fighting for what is human rights.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, it's been I just
Got Dane over here.
Yeah. My camera kind of turns a little slow, so I'm just gonna.
All right.
Over there.
All right.
Hey, Dane, how's it going?
All right. Heavy day up here.
Yes, every day.
I wanted to just kind of go through some of the recent developments and give a little context for some of the people that are trying to figure out exactly what's happening up here. What's all the conversation about Mauna Kea about?
Right.
If this is your first time hearing about it, hope to try and clear some of that up.
Right.
So, Ikaika, you want to give a little backstory on just like how did this movement get up to this mountain right here?
So this movement, a lot of what's happening now, it's pretty much Native Hawaiian rights, Native Hawaiian way of life, but on my sake is human rights. So there's a 30-meter telescope that they want to build on our sacred mountain here. A lot of people around the islands, around the world, don't believe that this mountain here is sacred, but it's very sacred to us Hawaiian people because Mauna Kea, the sun touches Mauna Kea every morning, the first. And when it touches Mauna Kea, then it touches the whole land. And whenever it touches Mauna Kea, that's the beginning of life, or looking forward to the next day. So there's a big significance to that. So in the same sense, there's 13 telescopes that is on this mountain. Some of which, or more than 50% of them, are inoperable. So they're not in service. They're just relics there. They're just sitting upon the mountain. And they are planning on building another one, a 30-meter telescope. And the 30-meter telescope will take 6 acres of land on the northern plateau of the mountain. And it's a huge thing. It's going to be a huge pimple on our mountain, but just to getting to the construction, there was so many different permits, and going through Hilo for the land permit. And this is all conservation land. Conservation land in Hawaii Island, I think you only could go up to 6 stories high. This telescope will be 18 stories. So they got just a lot of stuff went through.
Got rubber stamped.
Yeah, got rubber stamped. And as for us, it's wrong.
So one other follow-up on that. So the EIS,
the
environmental impact statement, when it was made, it didn't really address the burial sites. Is that correct?
Right. There's still some burial sites up there. There's still some burial sites that are still exposed. Some of which are pretty close to the northern plateau.
Where this thing is
where it's going to be. Yeah. And what they're saying is the mountain there, because the elements is so limited up there, and it's a barren area.
Right.
That human beings wouldn't go up there. But believe it or not, they used to bury their own up there because of this. As far as the Hawaiian culture, that's where the sun touches the first. So it's a symbolic area to send off a loved one. So as far as the Mauna Kea movement and the Mauna movement, everything comes down to how the government mistreats the people.
Right.
That is the biggest thing. And everybody know, for me, before all of this, I was a neutral party. I'm for science. I'm for development in its means,
Right.
without destroying culture and in desecrating sacred places or land.
Right.
So, but science, I'm so for science as far as geologists,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
volcanoes and geology and volcanology. I'm so for that. I'm so astronomy. Hawaiians was really good astronomers. That's how they navigated the Pacific.
Yeah, that's how
I'm
we
still
got
there.
here.
So, and they still do that till today. So I am very for that. What got me to go on this side of fighting for our land is the mistreatment of our government, and we continue to see it every day. How they mistreat and lie, as we've seen today, from our governor's message, his press conference, that was straight up lies. I'm here. Everybody know who I am and what we have done for our community in Hawaii, and we are very pono with what we do. We are very righteous, and we do everything right for the people. So, and my job here is to be it's called Kapu Aloha. Kapu Aloha. So what we do is we try to facilitate or neutralize situations with this protest or protect. So my job is to de-escalate situations and keep this place safe. So what we do is during protesting, we as people of the community stand between law enforcement and protesters, and we try to eliminate any how you can say it, friction or anything with both sides, especially from the protester sides. We try to de-escalate everything. We try to calm people down, because there is a lot of
Emotion.
So much emotion in this point in time, that's our job to calm everybody down, because the government and their system, they try to provoke or try to have a reason to use excessive force, or have a reason to make us look bad.
Right. Provoke it. And
Yeah,
escalate it.
so we try to keep everything at a cool, calm-headed level. There is people getting arrested, like Wednesday. There are a bunch of our kupuna getting arrested. A lot of people were very emotional, but during that time, we kept everybody calm. A couple incidents. There's a lot of shedding of tears because of just the hurt, but that's our job. Yes.
So, in the Governor Ige's recent speech, he was stating that the Pu'uhonua up here presented a security risk and
Right.
a safety concern, and that along with he cited drug and alcohol use. And you've been up here for a few days doing your
Been here
role
from Monday, yeah.
since Monday. Have you seen any of that in your experience?
First of all, let's address what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Pu'uhonua O Huluhulu
Mm-hmm.
is crashing down because of drugs and alcohol.
Right.
This is our job. So we do this. There's an area where Pu'uhonua is. It's a haven. If everybody knew about the lava, we had our own place. It's Pu'uhonua O Puna.
Right.
Same exact concept. But the concept is to safe haven for people to come and to sing songs, collaborate, talk story, share stories of their times on Mauna Kea, and also food and donations. So it's the concept of Pu'uhonua or Pu'u Huluhulu is the same concept as Pu'uhonua O Puna. As far as drugs and alcohol, what we do every 2 hours, we walk the areas and continually letting people know There is no drugs and alcohol. This is not the time and place for it. They're gonna have, the reason why there's no drugs and alcohol is because our government and our law enforcement want to find reasons to act upon us, and this is one reason. And we knew governor was gonna pull that card, because on Wednesday, when there was 50 officers arresting our elderly or kupuna in front of the whole world without resistance, with aloha,
Right.
no resistance at all, we knew that painted picture will go around the world and will paint a bad picture for our government here. So that was the message that our kupuna wanted to show the whole world. We are peaceful protesters and protectors. We come here with no harm, no weapons, just pure aloha and love for the land and for each other. And for
Including the police.
Yeah, we love the
Even,
police.
yeah.
When they came out hard and tough. Gave them a hug and hugged them hard and said we love you guys too, and we're doing this for your keiki too. They ended up shedding tears with us, but we knew because of that painted picture, Ige would have been against the wall. So what can he do? The only way he could do is down and create lies about this area. And we all know for a fact this place is very safe haven. There's kids here, there's families, and this is not only a place where protest, this is a place where you look around here, we see families interacting with families, people cooking, having dinners with each other, bringing people up. We're seeing strangers around, bringing them into our place of haven here, feeding these people. I mean, this is a awesome place to be, and we knew that he was going to pull that card. So that's in relations. Our Pu'uhonua O Huluhulu is a safe haven for everybody. There is no drugs, no alcohol, none whatsoever. There is no disrespectful, nothing here. It's all aloha, and we all here for one reason. And we know if we do this kind of stuff, it would reflect on us as a whole. So we all know we all gotta stay together and make this work. Because he did that, I'm gonna have to come out with mud. And because he attacked us and downgraded our integrity and our dignity as Hawaiians here, I'm gonna have to attack him. I know David Ige because he helped us with the hub, and he's one of the guys that always came. He came 3 to 4 times, coming checking out the Pu'uhonua O Puna. But I'm gonna have to say this: the state had their own haven, which was in Pahoa during the eruption. It was the Red Cross, the shelter. It was all under their command, the county and the state. That was their area of helping out the people. That area had the most drugs and the most alcohol, and had suicide attempts and people that committed suicide.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yep.
And police department was always being deployed to their shelter. So how can you, David Ige, down this place here, our Pu'uhonua O Huluhulu, when under your command and your county's command and state command, at your shelter, there were so many drugs, alcohol, homeless, suicides in your command, your shelter. So don't be downing this place, because this place is a haven for us Hawaiians and the movement. You gotta, whenever you point a finger, there's 3 pointing back at you. So don't be pointing fingers at this place. because this place is a good place where families and ohana can come and gather and exercise their rights here.
One other claim that was made by the governor was that the road condition here is unsafe as well. So can you go ahead and describe what the Keahi are doing here to ensure safe crossing of the road and make sure?
So we have crossing guards that we have 24 hours. This place, it's a safe place because it's command by our own people. You could imagine if this place wasn't occupied at all. People were going 60, 70 miles an hour here, 80 miles an hour here. So now we got people going 15 to 20 miles an hour here at the most. And this place, I mean, it's a safe environment for our community here. There is no place else to exercise our right here, but this is the place. So as far as he's saying this is an unsafe environment, there has been no issues, no accidents, nothing in that nature, because we have so much groups here that are actually that is actually keeping this place safe. We have a bunch of people that are here keeping this place safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. One thing that's really amazing to me is, you know, I mean, the hub last year, Pu'uhonua O Puna, was amazing, but this is a whole next level. People are here from a much bigger area, all over the place. Yeah, the governor tried to pin that as different groups with different goals.
Right.
Maybe you can talk about, you know, what the common goal that unites all different people.
The goal here is human rights and stopping TMT from getting built.
Right.
But in overall sense, is the mistreatment of the government. That's the main goal. Stop.
Right. So when I give different examples of
different groups
things, those are different examples of different kinds of mistreatment. Right. Is what you're saying?
Right.
Whether it's
and yes, there is different groups here. There is a bunch of different groups. There's a bunch of different people that believe in different things, different ways of going upon legality of turning our Hawaiian government back into its place, Hawaiian Kingdom. But we all here as one for one desire to making sure that the government is enough with mistreating the people of this area. So we all, he's gonna say that of, you know, there's so many groups and we're fighting it. No, that's not the case. If you just come over here, whoever don't believe in that, please come here and experience it for yourself, because this place is an awesome place where everybody is in unity and fighting for the same reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, it's really kind of grown, right? You know, I mean, I as a scientist, also I'm pro science and pro jobs and all that. You know, and I do, really admire, the Hawaiian tradition of stargazing and all that, right? You know, so I think there could have been a really amazing way for the people to be more involved, right? But the way I started off many years ago was, not really asking and just kind of doing.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, we didn't do it quite right, so let's try to make it better by making some concessions. Those concessions actually, maybe not quite enough. Turn the camera here.
Yeah. So that's just my mana'o about that one. If you're gonna attack Pu'uhonua O Puna, you gotta make sure when the lava flow, your shelters was the worst place in Puna. So much drug activities, alcohol, suicides at your own shelter. So don't be down in some place where is some place that is good for the people, when a place where is under your command wasn't doing anything for the people and was didn't even, there was no enforcement to protect the people that was inside of that pool or that shelter. So we have here Kaho'okahi.
Aloha kako. Aloha.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself for everybody that may not be familiar with you or what you've done here?
Yeah, my name is Kaho'okahi Kanuha. I'm from Kona, Hawaii. I'm one of the individuals involved in the Ku'uhonua O Puna movement as we attempt to stop the building of the 30-meter telescope on Mauna Kea to prevent it from being desecrated again. And we're here at Pu'uhonua O Huluhulu. We've been here for a week now, standing in Kapu Aloha, protecting our Mauna.
We understood that you wanted to maybe say something about what Governor Ige had just put out in his press conference. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, Ikaika pretty much just hit it. That was my thought. We've addressed his lies. Within a short amount of time, he, credit to him, he managed to fit in a lot of lies in a short amount of time. So yeah, he clearly has a talent there. But the governor basically just made a bunch of irresponsible claims. He lied over and over and over again in his press conference as he tries to manipulate and control the minds and the perspectives of the public and the community about what's happening here on Mauna Kea. And he's trying to turn a peaceful protest and a peaceful gathering into some kind of rave party. Like we have a bunch of alcoholics and druggies here. And that's not the case. And I was going to just bring up the thought that Ikaika just mentioned, that we know during the time of the lava flows that Ikaika established and held together a Pu'uhonua that cared and protected and sheltered the people and provided them safety. While on the state's end, they were trying to do the same thing, but theirs were filled with alcohol and drugs. So I would encourage the governor, before he starts worrying about what we're doing here and how we're handling our things, that maybe he should start checking his own places and make sure that what he's running and what he's controlling is not infiltrated with drugs and alcohol, because we know of many stories where the state, and we got officers who just arrested for smuggling drugs from the evidence. And so take care of your own issues. Like he said, we're here monitoring our people. We're here, taking care of ourselves. It's up to us to provide for our own safety. And we've done that because we've never trusted the state of Hawaii to provide for our safety, because we know they really don't, they couldn't care less about that. They're not here for the safety of the public. They're here at Mauna Kea against the public, so that they can go against the will of Kanaka, the will of the people of this place, and take these machines up the mountain, even if they have to run through or over us to get to Mauna Kea. And so the governor again lied over and over and over again, but the most ironic thing is that he lied about things that he in fact is guilty of, not us.
Well, thank you very much. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that, because I was there on the front line in Pahoa, in the Pahoa Community Center. We had a guy committing suicide right there next to his tent, hanging himself on the tree.
And Tracker has a bunch of information on that as well.
So
Cross was a disaster.
Yeah, it wasn't a safe haven. It was a disaster within a disaster.
Yeah.
So don't be downing this place. This place is a place for all family ohana from all around, not only Hawaii Island, but every place. We get people from Aotearoa, we get people from Japan, all the other islands, America. We have them all here at the safe haven. And of course, and we have a lot of keiki here, of course we're not going to be doing any drugs and alcohol in this area. We're here for one stance. We are here for one stance, and we're going to stop this 30-meter telescope. That's our number one. That's our number one plan.
An observer. When I came here the other night, I showed up at night alone, and you weren't here yet. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just hang out and go talk to people. It was so much aloha everywhere I went, and I probably was in places I shouldn't have been, type of thing, and just wandering around. But it was so much aloha, and for that, I have to thank you from what we went through down at the Pahoa eruption in Leilani. Seeing this and seeing this again, type of thing is big.
Well, I mean, I would like to say that that's a reflection of leadership, and I'm sure it is, but it's not a reflection of just leadership. It's a reflection of all of the people here, right? These are good people. These are people who are educated and informed on the issues. We will no longer be ignorant and silent while the state of Hawaii continues to deprive Kanaka of their rights, while they continue to mismanage our lands and our resources. And so that feeling that you expressed is a feeling that I think everybody here has felt. And if the governor would go ahead and come here to the place where he has declared a state of emergency, like he would go if there was a lava flow perhaps in Puna, or if there was flooding and landslides in Hanalei on the north shore of Kauai, when he declares a state of emergency, the governor goes to those places. The governor hasn't showed up here. If this is an emergency, why is the governor not here? And so the only reason why the governor can make these lies and can make these false claims is because he has not had the decency and the integrity to come and visit us at Pu'uhonua O Huluhulu. He doesn't need an invitation. He's the governor. He can go wherever he wants. Come here and visit us and see for yourself what the people here are like.
The governor implied in his speech that the Pu'uhonua turned down his offer to come and meet. Did he reach out to you?
There was no offer to come
and
meet.
No offer, no talk?
No offer to come
Nothing.
and meet. The governor said at one point that he wished that we could avoid conflict on the mountain and that we could find a peaceful solution. The governor sent 3 individuals, 2 of whom I had never met in my life, to my house, and we sat in my garage. And they expressed that to me, and I told them if the governor wants a peaceful resolution and he doesn't want a conflict on Mauna Kea, then here's a pathway forward. And so I wrapped up 2 pohaku, a ili, a black pebble, and a ko'a, a little white coral rock, and I wrapped it in la'i, and I sent it to him. And I explained to the person who was taking it to David Ige that I was doing the same thing to him that Kamehameha had done to Keawe Mauhili, while Kamehameha, Keawe Mauhili, and Kiowa had a 3-way struggle over Hawaii Island. And Kamehameha's warriors, particularly Ke'eomoku from Maui, was encouraging and pushing Kamehameha to move in on Keawe Mauhili and to take over his lands. And Kamehameha, having a genealogical tie to Keawe Mauhili, did not wish to do that. And so to test Keawe Mauhili's commitment to peace, he sent him in a small piece of kapa 2 of those rocks. And if Keawe Mauhili were to take it and to send back the white rock, then Kamehameha would know that Keawe Mauhili wanted peace and he did not wish to go to war. But if Keawe Mauhili would have sent back the black rock, then Kamehameha would know that Keawe Mauhili was not willing to keep the peace and they would have to go to war and there would be conflict. And so I sent the la'i, a small tea leaf, wrapped those 2 pohaku wrapped up in tea leaf with those messengers to David Ige. And I told them the reason why I'm not putting it in kapa and I'm putting it in tea leaf, which is la'i, is because we have that term la'i, right? Kona kai o puika la'i, there's that calm, serenity, there's peace. And so having those two choices, the choice was his, but we had made a commitment to peace, and that's why we used the la'i, that we wanted calm, we didn't want any type of violence, any type of conflict if it could be avoided. That story and that expression was told to the governor, and from what those people had told me, the governor never opened it.
No response.
And so he never responded. So if he wants to claim that there was some kind of invitation, there may have been some kind of indirect invitation. We responded to it, and the governor, until this day, as far as I know, has refused to open the tea leaf.
So you extended an invitation, basically, of your own. And,
at that point in time, yes.
And he ignored it.
He ignored it. Yep. And so now, if he wants to meet with us and if he wants to have a conversation, then I demand that he publicly apologize to all of the people here at Pu'uhonua O Huluhulu for the lies that he told. And this is the governor. He's not saying this on on my Instagram. He has probably the largest following in all of Hawaii. He controls everything here in Hawaii. So when he speaks, there's power to that, even if there's no truth. And so he's using his power to manipulate the minds and the perspectives of the community. And I think that's wrong, and I think it's very, very irresponsible for a leader to do, especially one in that capacity.
Well, thank you.
And another thing too, our governor, you can go any place you want. Come over. Why are you scared for come over here?
You're on island.
Yeah, you're on island. Might as well come over here and talk to the people.
40 minutes away.
This is your constituents. These are the people that voted for you. Come talk to them. What is so bad about that? When you do that kind of stuff, you're hiding. You don't want to come face your people because you know you did something bad. But if you're truthful for yourself, you come talk to everybody. Mm-hmm. What is the hard thing? It's easy for talk to people, but another thing too, you're in the third person. So if law enforcement came and told you, did you even witness any drugs and alcohol, like how the rumors going around on Facebook. It could be a rumor. It could be something that they want to do. You gotta find out for your first hand if you see any drugs and alcohol happening over here.
Another irony, right? He's accusing us of spreading rumors on Facebook about what could potentially be used. The LRAD is not a rumor. It was deployed. It was out there. In fact, the sheriff who did not bring it told us that he was going to stand in front of that LRAD, between the LRAD and the people, to ensure that those officers did not use it against us. So to say that they didn't bring it out, they did bring it out. We did see cans of pepper spray hanging from their vests. We did see cans of mace hanging from their vests. We did see 3-foot wooden batons hanging from their waist. And so the governor, again, he could talk to any law enforcement officer here that has been here for a week or has come at any point in time. Not one single officer has experienced any type of disrespect, any type of violence, and everything that we put on Facebook has only been factual. We're only reporting what we see.
Well, I know that Hawaii Tracker, we had that same thing during the eruption where they came, and you had it too, where they would come out and say, don't pay attention to social media. And during the eruptions, like, what are we supposed to pay attention to? You guys? That's dangerous.
Another thing too, Ige ended up putting this proclamation out and restricting access. Actually, access only is for law enforcement and people that work up at Halepohaku. Let me ask you something. How come the water trucks can go up there? They're not even part of the workers up there or even law enforcement. So how can these guys get the rights of going up to Halepohaku and filling up water for the place? Right?
And that's been us again. That's been our aloha. We have this road locked down, but we have made the decision to let those trucks up because we have aloha. Even for those who may come and wish to take us out, may come and wish to arrest us, may come and use pepper spray on us or batons on us or LRADs on us, we show them aloha. And so when they ask the question if the trucks can go up, to go ahead and take water so that their officers can be able to drink, we say yes because we have aloha. But they cannot allow us even one single vehicle up the road a day. We asked the state this. We gave them a commitment that we would not obstruct traffic other than those who are going up the mountain to desecrate it, if in fact we would be allowed one vehicle a day. One vehicle a day for Kanaka, the people of this place who have genealogical ties to this aina, that we'd be allowed one vehicle up the mountain a day. And to the state of Hawaii, that was absolutely non-negotiable.
Yeah.
That was ignored as well, was it? Or was that denied?
It was ignored. It was ignored, yep.
That's interesting, yeah.
Well, they denied it. I'm not sure if it ever
got
got to the governor, but we had those conversations with law enforcement where they reported up to their higher-ups, and the word always came back down, non-negotiable.
And if you look behind us, look at Keiki running behind us. You think drugs and alcohol is around over here?
Also,
It's about Ohana over here, Ohana.
usually, like, if a protest were to create like some kind of traffic delays, people would be angry. But if you've been paying attention to this live stream, you've probably heard so many countless vehicles sit there and honk their horns as they pass.
Oh yeah.
They're just a sign of
Appreciation,
support
of respect, of support. Yeah.
Right.
And if we were causing pilikia and problems for the community, we wouldn't be getting those types of response. Right? But they're coming here, they're passing by, they're stopping by, they appreciate what we're doing, they're respectful of it. And so, the governor today he showed immense desperation. He was left with nothing left other than to lie. And for that, I feel sorry for him.
Yep. And I could understand too with sending so much troops here and law enforcement, if there was people that was opposing TMT and people that was in support across from each other, then there's confrontation. Then you can use the law enforcement, but there is just us. Who are we fighting? Just us. So it's like the state, we fighting the state instead of the supporters.
And one more thing to debunk the governor's claims today is on Wednesday, when all of the reinforcements came, right? All the Ninja Turtles, all the police officers in their riot gear, in their helmets, with their batons and their mace and their pepper spray and all of their police toys. At the end of that day, Mayor Harry Kim, again, who stands on the different side of us on this issue, right? He wants a peace park. He thinks that we can develop on Mauna Kea. But even though we stand on different sides of this issue, he sent a civil defense worker up the mountain on that day after the police left the Mauna. And he sent him to me to ask him for my number so that Harry Kim could call me. So I gave him my number. 10-15 minutes later, my phone is ringing. I answer the phone, it's Harry Kim. And he told me that he wanted to express to all of the people here how impressed he was with how we stood, how much mahalo he had for the way we conducted ourselves, for the way we interacted and communicated with police officers, how we were respectful to them, even though we knew that they were going to arrest us, even though we saw them take out our kupuna, all 34 of them, or 35, or whatever that number was, one by one by one. We continued to remain in Kapu Aloha. We remained dignified, we remained disciplined, and we remained respectful. And so although I'm not sure how he feels now, but he told us that he has nothing but mahalo and appreciation and respect for what we're doing and how we're doing it. And the governor met with Harry Kim today, and Harry Kim has told me, I called Harry Kim, in fact, maybe it might have been again that same night, on Wednesday night or Thursday night, and I asked him, because we've been hearing rumors that we may get raided, that the state may come in the middle of the night, blue lights flashing, weapons out. And I told him, Harry, I'm asking you to talk to the governor and to not allow that, because, as Ikaika said, we have keiki here, right? We don't want to traumatize our keiki just because they're being Hawaiian, just because they're trying to protect Hawaiian land. That's not something that we should be traumatizing them about and affecting the way they look at the future and the way they look at these issues. And so Harry Kim told me that he would speak with the governor and he would tell him himself not to do those kinds of things to us, because the people here are only respectful, they're only peaceful, and we should be treated as such.
So one thing that was interesting to me in the governor's press release was that he said that they never dreamed of using tear gas. However, thousands of people have now accumulated on the Mauna. So that would almost mean that maybe it's in play now. But I just want to take this time to point out what you're looking at behind you. All this lava rock out here, how sharp and dangerous it actually is. If you're walking out there alone, yeah, it's manageable. If you're running in tear gas in a crowd of people, that is a cheese grater. That is a dangerous situation right there.
Yeah, I can never come to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had a question about there's something going around about law enforcement going to enforce parking along the side of the road. You guys ever heard anything about that?
All of our vehicles are inside of the barricades, so
off the road.
Off the road. Yep. So there are no parking alongside the roads. They've been barricaded off. There's a clear, strong obstruction, and again, we have traffic controllers all over. I mean, not all over the place, but in the main crosswalk where everybody is crossing. And so I don't see the issue with vehicles on the side of the road, because we don't have any.
Awesome. The other thing I wanted to say is that there's been a statement of support from the community of astronomers worldwide that come forth.
Yep.
Over 500.
Yeah. So,
it was only 200 yesterday or a day ago, and now it's at 500, and it's growing.
Yeah, so that's amazing, right? So, I mean, that, to me, as a scientist also, just goes to show.
And some of them are TMT workers.
Right. It's, it's not, the end does not justify the means, right? And you could have even picked a better end,
Yeah.
Maybe
it comes down to ethics, right? And that's what that article argued, is that this project cannot be ethical if, in order to build it, you have to go against the will of the people and you have to arrest hundreds and hundreds of Hawaiians. Because if they wish to go up the Mauna, that's what's going to have to happen. When they came on Wednesday with their reinforcements and we knew that the machines were behind, we had 250 people strong in the middle of the road, and they were not moving. And that was the same day that the kupuna went out, and those visuals and those images hadn't reached all over the world yet, but now they have. And so our numbers have grown tremendously from that day. And so I anticipate, and so does the governor, I know, which is why they're going ahead and rethinking this whole situation, because they knew there were going to be people, but I don't think they knew there was going to be this much people. I don't think they knew that this much people, they thought that people would come and sing songs and hold signs and cry on the side of the road as the machines went up. I'm not sure they fully expected that the people were going to put their bodies on the line and lay them in the middle of the road, in the middle of the machines, and in the middle of the Mauna to prevent them from getting there. And so they're looking at this whole situation all over again. But now that these images have traveled around the world, our numbers are growing. And when they come back, because they will, I know, we don't know when, but they will come back. And when they do, they're gonna have a lot of people to go through.
Not only on this island, but every island. Every island. We have supporters on Maui, Molokai, Lanai, Oahu, and Kauai, and Alaska, Las Vegas.
Germany we saw today.
Yeah.
Thousands of people in
Japan.
Germany. Japan. And the gatherings on the outer islands are bringing in just as much people as here.
Right.
We have reports on Maui. 1,000 people strong at the meeting last night. 1,000 people strong at the sign weaving today. Oahu, like you said, shutting down freeways. We just got people all over the place. And the state in this situation is very, very, very lucky that Hawaii is not just one island. Because if it was one island, we'd have 10,000 people here. And the state would have they'd have a real big issue on their hand, and they'd have no hope in getting up this Mauna.
Public safety too issue.
And so how many Hawaiians is it going to take? How many people are going to have to get arrested before the governor, before the project manager, Gary Sanders, before those involved with TMT can look deep within themselves and truly respect this place like they say they do. Truly respect the feelings of these people like they say they do. I don't understand. I don't comprehend how people can believe that they legitimately have a respect for the people of Hawaii and the culture when they choose, and if they're going to choose to run their way through hundreds and hundreds of Hawaiians and hundreds of people just to get their machines up. And if they do, if the machines ever do get up, it is not over. It is not over. Our people will continue to fight, will continue to resist, because if they do indeed begin construction and everything goes according to plan, which we know it won't because they're already a week behind, again, it's a 10-year project. And I'm making a commitment to everybody, and I know many people here are, if not all of us, that we will be a part of this struggle every single step of the way. So TMT, the state of Hawaii, unless you are committed to providing these types of mass operations and wasting our kala, our money, the money of the people of this place on the rights of foreign investors and foreign corporations, you better think again. We're going to be here all the way through. If it takes us 10 years, TMT will not be completed. It will not be built on our Mauna.
So preparing for the long haul.
Absolutely.
Preparing for the long haul.
Nobody here is, I don't think anybody here is ignorant to the fact that this is not a one-week battle, right? They don't come up one day, we stop them, and they go home and count their losses. The state of Hawaii is heavily, heavily invested in this project. And they've gone ahead and organized what is quite possibly the largest mass mobilization of law enforcement that we've seen in the history of Hawaii, especially over an issue like this. And so, I know for a fact, we all know for a fact, they cannot sustain those numbers, and they cannot sustain these types of operations. I mean, beyond a month, unless they want to completely waste the money of the people of Hawaii. And all people of Hawaii should be asking ourselves why our monies are going to protecting foreign investors and foreign corporations and settlers, and not protecting the rights of Kanaka or even the rights of anybody who lives here in Hawaii. So everybody should be questioning that. Whether you support TMT or not, we should be questioning the government's irresponsible use and expenditures of our money.
Right. That was the big thing during our eruption. It didn't matter if you were local, how it didn't matter. No, it didn't matter. You were all getting stepped on. Everybody was getting stepped on.
It's like 2 million a day.
Yeah.
Or like a week, 2 million a week.
Right, and the county went.
If you go $20 an hour for 1,200 people.
They're on call 24/7, 7 days a week. So all of these days, they haven't come up now for, is this the second day in a row? Second day in a row they haven't come up. But guess what? They're still getting paid. They're eating pancakes up at up at Hale Pohaku. They're cruising down Pohaku Loa, getting paid for sitting under tents and doing nothing. When in fact they should be at home protecting their communities. They should be at home stopping the crime that we know is happening, that is rising in our communities. So David Ige, the police forces, these law enforcement officers, they should be looking at the real state of emergency, and that's the safety of our communities outside of Mauna Kea, because we know that people here are safe. We're committed to that. We're safe, and we've demonstrated our commitment to the safety not only of ourselves, but those on the other side as well. And so, again, our communities, Maui had a huge brush fire just when this Pu'uhonua started. But they're sending in officers from Maui. They should be home protecting their communities, not coming here and kicking out Kanaka from Hawaiian lands.
All right. Anything you guys want to sum up, or do you think you've covered it all? We went through most of the safety concerns and the things that David Ike had put out there today. So unless there's anything else, I think that's it.
Yeah, mahalo for the opportunity to share the mo'olelo. Appreciate it.
Come up and support.
Yeah, come to
Everybody
Pu'u
come up and
Huluhulu.
support.
Come see, come to Pu'uhonua. Come see for yourself.
Yeah.
Come talk story with us, eat with us, sing with us, chant with us, pray with us, dance with us, ku'e with us, protect with us, anything.
Bear witness. Just
Come here and make your decision for yourself.
awesome. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Aloha.
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 Kukia i mauna.